Chelsea, I'm calling you out. You're not a beginner anymore. It's time you put down the zooms and got some real lenses, some primes.
Good, now I don't have to worry about you using my stuff anymore. Maybe I'll have a lens cap.
Seriously, primes are lighter, cheaper, and sharper. They're better in every way. That's why every master of photography uses them.
Really, you're gonna be a lens snob now? Because I have a range of focal length here that you can't even match.
I can match anything because I can zoom with my feet.
It's not possible, but I'll let you try.
I'll let him try and I'll watch him fail because I'm putting the holy trinity of zooms up against his 3 tiny primes.
Not to mention, you're going up against some really good zooms. I've got the 16 to 35 with the Sony. I've got the 70 to 200. You can't even, how are you gonna get 200 millimeters?
I've got 85. I mean, they don't make a 200 millimeter prime, but I'll zoom with my feet.
Okay, your feet, you're gonna be doing a lot of work. And then I got the 24 to 70, which is probably the lens that I use the most. It's the most versatile. I travel with it everywhere. I love this lens.
Yeah, I've got 85, 55, and 15, and I can get anything done with these 3 lenses, and I'm gonna prove it to you. But first, let me thank our sponsor, KEH. No matter what type of gear you need, KEH has the best price for you. They're the #1 buyer and seller of used gear. For example, you could go to KEH and sell all your old zooms and then get some real primes like a real photographer.
I cannot wait to see the comments.
Whether you want to be like me or Chelsea, KEH is a perfect place to go. So head to KEH.com, check the link in the description, and use the coupon code TNC20 to get 5% off. I think we should pack up our gear and go test these out.
Put on your walking shoes. You're gonna be zooming a lot, Northrup. Okay, let's get a picture of this water slide.
Okay.
My zooms gave me unlimited freedom to pick the perfect focal length.
Chelsea picked an obvious composition, but my 15 millimeter prime forced me to be creative. I couldn't zoom to frame out the sun, so I shut down the aperture to make it a starburst.
You know what's really cool is like zooming in to simplify the composition. What's your focal length?
I have my 15 millimeter on.
I'm somewhere between 50 and 35, and I like that. You could zoom with your feet.
I can't legally zoom with my feet. Okay, so she found a fence and zoomed to a gap between my primes, and something tells me this wasn't an accident. But I have an answer. I could crop.
Okay, let's see how that goes.
I've heard prime shooters say cropping improves image quality because lenses are sharpest in the center. That's not what we discovered. This example and our lab testing showed that if you have to crop more than about 15%, zoom lenses are generally as sharp or sharper than a prime.
Okay, well that didn't go great for me, but what if we take shots at the same focal length, 55 millimeters? I'll show off my sharp prime.
Okay.
Of course, my prime is sharper when I'm not forced to crop. Wait, what the hell? My prime isn't sharper. They look about the same. In the lab, on a tripod in controlled conditions, shooting with a zoom wide open, my prime looked a little sharper, but in the real world, that difference seems to be gone. There are more important things than sharpness. Limiting yourself to a handful of primes that you know really well helps you build a portfolio with a consistent style, and that means your clients are more likely to be happy with your work. This is an ugly bathroom, but I think this bright white wall might be a good reflector to do a portrait test. I'm going to shoot my beautiful prime 85 millimeter f1.4, and you have a 70-200 f2.8. I have 2 stops advantage over you, and I'm gonna whoop you.
Okay, well we have plenty of light, so I don't know that you need that advantage.
It's about the bokeh. The extra 2 stops of blur on my f1.4 prime let me pick the spot with the best light and simply blow out the background distractions. I got all the bokeh, you got none. Because I always use an 85 prime, I know that focal length intimately. So give me a little angle, a little modeling. I know how it's going to flare when I'm shooting into the sun and how 85 millimeters will exaggerate or compress features. Shoot with a zoom and you never really know a focal length. But if you turn your body like this, yeah. Now you go. Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
F2.8. Sad.
I've got to get down a little lower because that fence is not pretty. Can you step one step closer to me?
I'm kicking your butt on bokeh.
Okay. We're gonna have a bokeh off. I'll just zoom into 200 millimeters and you'll be bokeh'd away. Tony's bokeh argument is bull. Zooming to 200 millimeters shows less of the background, giving me more control. While Madeline looks great at any focal length, some clients have larger features and look better at more flattering 200 millimeter focal length.
Okay, zooms are kind of winning, but I want to do some low light shots where I know my primes are going to kick your butt.
Okay, try that.
For my low light test, I'm taking pictures of the stars at night. And yeah, I have to lay on the ground to get this vertical angle because my tilty screen does not flip. My f2 prime is a full stop faster than Chelsea's f2.8 zoom, so I gather twice as much light in the same amount of time, producing noticeably cleaner images. My f1.4 prime is 2 stops faster than any zoom, gathering 4 times more light. For people serious about low light work, whether it's astrophotography, concerts, or indoor sports, prime lenses are the only option.
Yeah, your prime photos have less noise, but look at that weird coma. And somehow your 20 millimeter has some stars in focus and others out of focus? How's that even possible? The fact is my $2,200 zoom outperformed both of your $900 primes because maybe you get what you pay for, Tony. We can't compare every prime with every zoom, but this proves that you can't assume primes always have better technical image quality. You just can't, Tony. Tony, you can't.
Here's the big summary. I'm proud to say I proved primes are for pros, zooms are for amateurs.
That is not true. I saw the results and I was actually surprised because I did not expect to do so well in this fight, Tony.
I had done a bunch of tests in advance. I kind of thought the fix was in, and primes were always sharper, but I'd done them in controlled lab environments. And it turns out, even with a 60 megapixel camera, in the real world, the sharpness benefits of the simpler prime designs disappeared.
Yeah, I feel like zooms have gotten a bad rap. I'm sure that when they were first introduced in like the 60s or 70s or whatever, they weren't as well engineered as a prime, but they've caught up. They're excellent now. Professionals use them. They're sharp, as we found in our tests, and they work well.
Especially the holy trinity of zoom lenses tend to outsell the similar primes, and I think camera manufacturers actually put more engineering effort in. That might be why I found that your 16 to 35 zoom performed better in astrophotography than my 20 millimeter and 15 millimeter prime lenses. It simply had better optical engineering.
I did not expect that.
Yeah,
I
me
thought that
either.
was the place where you were surely going to blow me away was astrophotography. But we have to also take into consideration we are testing some primes versus some zooms. So I'm sure that there is a prime out there that can beat all of my zoom lenses in sharpness. It's just that it's not what we thought it was, that old myth that primes are always going to be sharper, zooms might be more convenient. That's not the truth. Zooms can be sharper.
I want to take a second to thank our sponsor, KEH. If you want to upgrade to a prime or a zoom, sell them your old gear, get some great money for it, and then buy new equipment from KEH. It comes with a 14-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk, and a 180-day warranty. Where else can you get used gear with half a year warranty? Go to KEH and check out their supply of stuff. They are the biggest buyer and seller of used equipment, and they make videos like this possible. Thank you, KEH.
They also buy all of our used gear.
We have sold something like $40,000 in gear to them.
And we have lost zero of that gear to scammers ever since we started selling to them.
That is why we started using KEH. It is a risky world out there, but there is no risk with KEH. I know some of you primes people are going to be like, oh, he didn't do us fair. Tell me why you think primes are still better than zooms.
I think that we should put away the prime snobbery and just accept that you can use either and it's a preference and it's fine.
Primes do give you a specific look that you can't always get with zooms.
True.
I love the look of an 85 f1.4 for portraits. This 50 millimeter f1.2 that we film with, you can't do that with a zoom. The 24 f1.4 that we shoot videos with, primes have a lot of unique looks. And if you want that unique look, that's the #1 reason to get primes now, I think. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe and like, because we got lots more videos like this coming. Bye. It's like a modified finger gun.